Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it second and a foot or so.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Check 24, check 24.
Mahomes going to hand it off to Hunt. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense, because someone...
Mahomes hit. He lost the football. But it looks like the Chiefs are going to get it back.
On plays like this, where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
That's out to Hill, right side complete. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, a 22. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory, right at the 40. It's Ware, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4, and that's going to make it 2nd and 14. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Brought in over the middle by Grant. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And he picks up the 1st before he's taken down at the 29. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. This is Hunt. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, You go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all this stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now Mahomes, flushed out right. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, it has to be an excellent pass rush, terrific coverage where they are plastered to the receivers, and then, of course, taking it away, making the catch, and going in the other direction.
The All-Pro Justin Houston in on the tackle.
Really shouldn't be a surprise. It's going to be hard to move people in this situation. You know they're going to bring the pressure defensively. So I remember playing in these spots, and my coach would always say, don't be afraid to try and create a safety, too. They're going to bring pressure.
Back near his goal line, Brissett. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And able to get a little more breathing room out to the 5-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Brissett, fighting through pressure. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Here's Marquette King now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And taken right at the 35. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Ready, green 39, green 39. Z, 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 Z. Pull together.
Mahomes will try again on 2nd down. He's going to look deep down the field. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Matthias Farley. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play?
And he's taken down, a Chiefs sack.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Let's go. White 90. White 90. Flex round. Flex round.
Brissett. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And he will score. Touchdown, Kansas City. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
The drive starts with a run by Collins. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Let's go. What? 90. What? 90.
A second down throw for Brissett. Drops it underneath for Collins. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll try and run forward with Collins. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And they've got it here with a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Flex round! Flex round!
On first, they go right back to Collins. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Ohio! Ohio! Here we go! What? 90! What? 90!
Brissett now on 2nd down. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd?
Let's go! What? 90! What? 90!
Out of the gun, Brissett. It's brought in by Doxson. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Flex round! Four down. Check. Watch 14.
Here's a first down run with Collins. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Flex round! Flex round! Here we go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
On 2nd down, Collins. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone.
Flex round! Flex round! Three down. Here we go! Grand 38! Grand 38! Flex round! Flex round! Ohio!
First down, Brissett. This is caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Here's Brissett. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The former Broncos scored a touchdown for him in the Super Bowl. Malik Jackson getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. Second and goal from the 6 this time.
Flex round! Flex round!
They get it to him running left. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
So it's 3rd and goal now, and this is where the Arrowhead crowd can make it very tough. They'll try and run. Freeman. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Royce Freeman, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And the Broncos get there and take him down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They can't stop us, baby. Every time it's a sack. Come on, fellas.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
I'm coming after you. Ready. Green, 90.
Working from the gun, Mahomes. Over the middle, complete. That's Grant. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
3 down. Here we go.
They'll run it here with Hunt. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Watch tight. Tight end right. Here we go. Green, 90. Green, 90. Z.
On second down, here's Mahomes. Caught here by Conley. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Strong right. Slow. Hunt.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. And he's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard.
Here we go now. Green 90. Green 90.
They do go for it. It's Mahomes. Forced out to his left. It's complete to Grant. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of the guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
His throw caught at about the 5. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Travis Kelce, his second touchdown on the season. And the Chiefs are in for 6. Extra point up and through. And that makes the score 14-7. Butker now to kick this one away. On the return comes Drake. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And coming out now, the Broncos. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you...
And the Chiefs are going to get him. Dee Ford in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Come on, let's go. Grand 38.
From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Let's go. White 90.
And instead, they want to throw it on play action. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And this kick will be touched down as they spot it inside the 45-yard line. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
To throw, it's Mahomes. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver. Ready. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Final shot before the half from Mahomes. The tight end Kelce has it over the middle. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
They'll begin the drive with Collins. And he's got some space here. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That good for 22 and a first down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Flex round! Flex round! Four down, check! Let's go!
Second down, Brissett. That's caught left side by Jake Butt. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. The Broncos on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Let's go! White 90! White 90! And we got Mike, number 53. Mike 53.
Brissett. He's going to air one out. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. He's going to field this at the 4. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away.
Yeah,
defense,
yeah.
we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. The defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And the Broncos go to a nickel set on 3rd down.
Yeah, they've got an extra DB out there. They go play fake. Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And Denver getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Here's Collins. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. The all-pro safety Eric Berry in on the stop.
I can't help it. Every time I see Eric Berry make a play, as we just saw him make a tackle there, I just want to stand up and applaud.
Because he went to Tennessee like you?
Well, that doesn't hurt one bit, but how about the comeback? I mean, he came back from beating cancer and getting back to Pro Bowl level, one of the best players in the game.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Come on, let's go. White 90. White 90.
They'll run here with John Kelly. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. On 1st and 10, Brissett. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Come on, let's go.
Throwing again, Brissett on 2nd and 10. Complete outright to Jake Butt. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Here's Marquette King now. He's been terrific so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a first down on a punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
Here we go. Blue 45.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. Looking downfield for Kelsey. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. So the Broncos coming out now. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Now Collins. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They go play action with Brissett. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Brissett now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Ohio! Ohio!
From the gun, here's Brissett. And that's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Flex round! Flex round! Here we go!
They run with Collins. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
We're back now in KC. The Broncos on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be 3rd and 6.
We got three, fellas. Let's go! Red 38! Red 38! Watch the twitch. Jim. Alert flare.
Brissett now. Open man, and that's his tight end, Jake Butt. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Ohio! Hey. Four down. Switch!
Now again to Collins. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Let's go! Red 38!
They go again with Collins. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down at 6.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And McManus able to put it through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out come the Chiefs now. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football. Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45. Z.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That one good for 12 yards and a Kansas City first.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Hey. We got three. Here we go.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. A gain of 3, second down. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
On play action, it's Mahomes. He'll buy some time right. And he slides to avoid the hit. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
Containing him is becoming a big problem. We've already seen this once earlier on this drive.
Yeah, and so now 2 times this has happened. Do you adjust something?
Yeah, I think you do. I think you got to start thinking about your rush lanes. Try not to either get too wide or too narrow. Make sure someone is there waiting for him to take off.
Now. Green 90. Green 90.
They'll run. This is Hunt. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. They'll run again with Hunt. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see.
You got three down.
Back to throw. Mahomes. Being chased out left. Now he'll throw. And this is taken in at the 5. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Chris Conley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. Butker on for the PAT. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes it a 21-10 game. Butker now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Nickel Roby-Coleman. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or two shy of midfield. So cancel the interception, pass interference.
And you know what else gets canceled? The return yardage. Makes the play, but now it's all for naught.
Whether it's a touchdown or a field goal, whatever it is, they need to score quickly here on first down.
Let's go. What?
Brissett to throw on first. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up first and goal. Out of the gun, Brissett. And he's got it. And they get him down at the 1. He had the broken tackle, but ultimately could not get into the end zone.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Second and goal from the 1. Again, it's Brissett. And this is caught down for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a one-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high-percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
And this is incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. Victory in the cards now for the Chiefs as they take a knee here. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now third and long. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home.
And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for Kansas City, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they dropped just their second game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they will try to